blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, thus is your brother again, Moses, or say, your Sapodi of TRC, Ghana. Coming to you thus 12th of May 2023 with a continuation of our exposés, Testimony, New World Disorder. This very expose is being recorded on the 10th of May 2023, Wednesday, against the 12th of May, which you shall receive it. Before we begin, we want to welcome each other by saying Akwaba, Allen, Sahalen, Shagitam, welcome, Ingajoni, Benvindo, you are welcome, Kuso, Diwo, to San Senyo, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mengalaba, Boye, Malamu, Karibu, Ekabo, no, o Sam de Zua, Mkwang de Ena, Mitas, Duburo, Pezalovat, Bine Ivinit, Barigalus, Bita Ichi, Ayubon, Dobridoya, Fercomen, Estan, Hosut, Walang Adoban, bienvenido, Namaste, Swagetam, Kush, Hamadit, Baruch, Haba, Marhaba, Wanyong Hamida, Wangin, Nyejeko, Anyamime, Nyejeko, Wezolo, Novio, Mia Wezo, Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. Testimony, New World Disorder, as we know, is the program through which we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world in these times of global deception, delusion, and willful lies that are made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world, and yet have chosen to be the very people that for the past 17 years, almost 2 decades, in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent, having brought humanity and the nations of the world into this global helplessness. Blessed ones, we want to remind ourselves over and over again that the center of the global evil pursuit is Ghana and America, the governments of Nana Addo Akufo Addo. He has a face of Ghana and Joe Biden. These two governments are the governments behind the evils that we are seeing on the nations of the world. They have been the orchestrators, the pushers of the global agenda against humanity, and we must understand, we have said it over again, that their ulterior agenda being pursued against the entire human race, Christians, Muslims, Judaists, Rastafarians, Shintoists, all of us, whether we worship or do not worship, is the mark of the beast, 666, which the Bible has cautioned humanity against. And the church knows so well that there will come a time in the history of the world that the unleashing of the unthinkable global terrorism against the entire human race shall come upon the human race. And it is what is being pursued by evil forces hiding in America and their counterparts in Ghana, the government of Nana Akufo and Joe Biden. For almost 2 decades now, this agenda has been pursued against humanity, and they are getting exposed. The only way they want to divert our attention from the mark of the beast agenda which they are pursued is the use of the COVID-19 global lockdown, their nonsense of Marburg and monkeypox, which God slapped them in their faces in the land of Ghana when I was in Ghana, and they backtracked. You understand? Okay, so they are desperate. The Ban Ki-moon, the racist of South Korea, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the World Health Organization boss, Joe Biden and his administration, the 80-years-old evil man of America, is the one that I'm talking about. I'm talking about Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Nana Addo Akufo Addo, Mahamudu Bawumia, I'm talking about Osla Owusu. I'm talking about Kan Dapa. I'm talking about Kan Ofori Atta. I'm talking about Dampare. These evil men are those that are playing the human race regarding the evil mark of the beast agenda that is being pursued against Ghana, against America, against humanity and the nations of the world. And humanity, we are most grateful to God that by His grace, we as well through this program to receive some divine guide, divine direction, and divine insight that we may know exactly what to do. This is expose part 227. 228 shall be a special capture that we captured on the killer of the Jew, Oscar Ibudu. 228 shall be on, and 229 shall be what to do. Humanity and the nations of the world. Akufo to the program testimony the world disorder. One more time. This is the 10th of May 2023, Wednesday, and this expose are for Friday May 12, 2023. So Akufo to the program testimony the world disorder. Expose part 227. We urge you to continue watching the exposes chronologically from expose part 1 down to 227, 228, 229 and beyond. Akufo to the program testimony a world disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. I continue to urge us that peacefully, non-weaponry, and non-violently, nobody, we must continue to be peaceful, non-weaponry, and non-violently. Nobody should resort to violence and weaponry against the global evil minds that are pursuing this mark of the secret mark of the beast against the entire human race, and it has been to their own damnation. It is overwhelming them. They are getting exposed and don't know what they are desperate. God, by me, between the months of as from March of 2023, March, April, I have awoken the American people, and I have called on them to keep a close eye on their own government, Joe Biden and his administration. Why? Because America, between February, March, April, up to this May, they have gotten to know the truth that the World Health Organization boss, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, Ban Ki-moon, the racist of South Korea, Joe Biden and his administration, Nana Akufo and his administration, they have committed medical terrorism against the American people, against the Ghanaian people, humanity, and the nations of the world under the guise of COVID-19, and they have gotten exposed. So they are desperate. They don't know what to do. And therefore, I have called on the American people that they must keep a close eye on their government. Because if their government can, if he has the slightest opportunity, Joe Biden and his administration shall engage, shall stage terrorism against their own nation and their people. They shall stage it and then arrest the innocent, their own intelligence people with the marks, right? Understand? And then they prosecute Khartoum in court because it's a national security. They prosecute Khartoum, show us sketches as terror suspect, and prosecute them and put Khartoum in jail. You understand? To make a fool of, or they brand the people they used to stage the terror act as mental health patients. You understand? Therefore, the case eventually they are trying it in case and becomes nonsense. It is said that you cannot teach old dog new tricks. Joe Biden rose from the Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama crop of politicians. The Biden Barack Obama Biden administration their strategy throughout that 8 years that they presided over America, whenever they are getting exposed because of the heinous crimes of this U.S. undercover, extremely dangerous U.S. undercover agent, the cowardly secret killing of Ghanaians that has gone on for 17 years, what they do is, what Obama and Joe Biden do, quickly stage terrorism against their own nation, and then they prosecute cartoons and put the cartoons in jail. You understand? And the case closes. And I've told the American people they should watch their own government. They may even choose to commit terrorism itself against their nation. So they should watch that. And the American people are not stupid. They know the truth that they have been medically terrorized, and therefore their eyes are wide open. So Ban Ki-moon, the racist of South Korea, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the World Health Organization boss, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Hillary, they are all desperate, using every treacherous and criminal means to seek to divert attention from their evil pursuit of the mark of the beast, which they were seeking to cover up, and they invented their nonsense of COVID-19 and locked down humanity, terrorized us, and it didn't work. When I started cautioning the American people against the terror act by staging of terror act by their own government, what the government has done, the Biden administration, with these global evil forces, the Ban Ki-moon crops of diplomats that are his rudiments that are still hiding within the United Nations, and for 10 years aided Ban Ki-moon to use various institutions of the United Nations in disregarding everything that the United Nations stands for, to pursue hate crime against the African people, against humanity, against the Ghanaian people, and they getting us killed in their nonsense that the in worship of this undercover agent, that according to the book of Revelation, the Africans are the pale horse and the black horse, and we ought to be killed and wiped out from the surface of the earth without any trace of evidence. That is how come by hatred Ban Ki-moon and his evil forces, Akufo Addo, have let their grand covering cost the innocent life of Dr. Busuwuru Kofi Annan, and they have planted an empty casket on the soil of Ghana up to this very day, on the 13th of September 2018. They planted an empty casket. This was done to humanity and to the Ghanaian people. And the truth behind the loss of the life of Kofi Annan is being covered up to by diplomatic forces, political forces in Ghana and America. An attempt by me calling on the U.S. Justice Department, the United Nations, for an inquest, investigation, a probe into the loss of Kofi Annan's life. I flew from America, I flew from Ghana to America, spent only 1 week just to approach the U.S. Justice Department to call for probe, United Nations, to submit a document to the United Nations calling for a probe into the cutting short of the life of Kofi Annan. When I was in Ghana for my 2 years investigation, 2017, 2019, that call that I called on the U.S. Justice Department in November of 2018, within the matter of 1 month, under 1 month, the Ban Ki-moons, the Barack Obama, the Hillary Clintons, the Akufo Addos, they said they would not understand because the undercover agent is getting exposed, and they are all going to get exposed. So they plotted and entered the house of God and killed my Reverend Dr. David Nabemado. They murdered him brutally to silence me. Under 1 month, U.S. Justice Department, go to your own documents. You will realize that within 1 month of me coming to America, 1 week and flying back to Ghana, they killed my Reverend Minister to silence me. Humanity and the Nations of the Akufo to the program Testimony New World Disorder. Because the American people have gotten to know the truth that these global evil men that have taken entrenchment in America for the past 17 years in worship of one dangerous US undercover agent who loved money at the expense of the blood of her own father and made their evil pursuit cause the life of her father, and afterwards have decided that to cover her shame, to cover the shame of Barack Obama, Ban Ki-moon, Joe Biden, they will kill the Ghanaian people indiscriminately in revenge, and they have killed our politicians, diplomats, religious, kill us anyhow, celebrities, as though we are animals. And this heinous atrocity has continued to be covered up till now, because Jezebel must be worshipped by those that think that there is no God. But you know that there is God. That is why you must choose God and flee from the destruction that has been invented by these global evil minds. Humanity and the Nations of the Akufo to the program Testimony New World Disorder. Because the American people are vigilant, they know the truth that have exposed at the White House openly between March and April. That they are aware that their government has colluded, sold their nation out for global evil agenda pursuit, and they have allowed them medical terror to be committed against them, and they will not allow any terror act to be staged to divert their attention from it. That is why you have seen this say, America, listen to this. What is happening to your nation now, as at this 10th of May 2020 that I'm recording this? They are a willful diversionary tactics by the Biden administration. It is beyond America. The forces are beyond America. For evil forces, the Ban Ki-moon cronies, Ban Ki-moon, the racist of South Korea, Nana Addo Akufo, they are behind the engineering of the agenda to divert your attention from what they are doing to your nation, because they know they cannot stage terror act to divert your attention. You are watching them. They are behind the so-called indictment of Donald Trump. I'm talking to you about March, April, when they saw that the African world, God by the African was exposing the beyond. They quickly indicted Donald Trump. You have seen that this very month of May, they have used toothless court. Yes, court manipulated by politicians, and they claim that they have found Trump guilty of sexual battery or bread or margarine. I want us to get it clear that the reason why they are doing this is that America, get it clear. You remember that when Trump was the president, he knew how much the nation has been taken captive, and it's being used to pursue global agenda, and therefore he was fighting the remnants of the United Nations, their bodies that were being used to tear down. Yes, he was fighting it. Don't you remember? And the African is standing at the White House having exposed their medical terrorism. They did that. They have colluded. The Ban Ki-moon forces have colluded with the Joe Biden administration. They did that with the Obama administration. And they pursued this evil for 17 years against humanity. They have done this for 17 years. And now they are getting exposed. So their only option is to divert the attention of American people by every shameless means. Okay, the African is exposing that. So they can't bring it to my back. They can't bring it. So they attack Trump and indictment and sexual battery, sexual bread, sexual margarine. You understand? What a shame. What a shame. Humanity and the nations of the world. Akufo to the program Testimony the World. I am calling on your minds, the minds of the American government, to think. You can see clearly what is happening in America. It is engineered by evil minds in Ghana, from South Korea, Ban Ki-moon and his cronies, and the White House. They are playing the American people like that. And the ulterior agenda is to use the Trump issue. In many parts of the world, politics is eating, especially in Ghana. You understand? So they know how tactically they have to play the political button, which would be potent enough to divert the attention of humanity from the medical terrorism that they have committed. Quickly, while that goes on, you have seen that last week Friday, they have made the terrorists at the to come to tell the world that COVID-19 is no longer a global emergency, and therefore it has been aborted, it has been cancelled, it has been terminated. You understand? It is not me, but Yahweh, whose innocent child they hated the African and killed, who has decimated them. On Thursday before that Friday, the same forces, they were inducing fears into Ghana. That be afraid, you understand? COVID-19 is here. It's not going anywhere. Be afraid. The next day, they came back and tell the whole of humanity, the COVID-19 is no longer a global emergency. You understand? So we tell them that they can choose to wear iron face shield and iron face masks. God, who loves the African and know them as his creation, is shaming them openly by his finger, and until total justice is served in the matter of my two tortured and abducted children, until total justice is served regarding the 17 years of cowardly secret terrorism against Ghana, until total justice is served in regarding the 17 years of total terror and persecution against me, Yahweh is saying that no justice, no peace. Humanity and the nations of the world. Akufo to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. God helped us, and we relocated from the secret terror that was being operated by Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and their administration. At the address 9305 Montgomery Village Avenue, zip code 20886. We told the White House that we have relocated. Everywhere that I go to live in America, since they set up marriage with this undercover agent, it takes seconds to minutes for them to infiltrate the neighborhood, activate, divert their satellite program, and put me under surveillance, watching me in my bedroom as we are recording. They are seeing everything, hearing everything. You understand? Okay. So, Ghana, America, and the nations of the world. Between that same March and April 2023, when I had been exposing the medical terrorism, I had as well continued to expose at the White House how Addo Akufo, Joe Biden and his administration, by hatred for me. In the year 2021-2022, set up an innocent Jewish woman in relationship with a Muslim, and then me being Christian, we living under the same roof. And unfortunately, while the Muslim thought that he was in control over the terror cell and he was in charge, he never knew that it was the wife whom God was using to watch on the back of the African for him. Eventually, the man got to know that the wife was betraying her. The wife picked seed, got pregnant for the man because he loved him and wanted to. Guess what the man did? He made the man do? Beat the woman and killed her innocent child before the child was born. I've exposed that at the White House. So they knew that they set up a Muslim, a Christian, and a Judaist, and the same father they were operating, Joe Biden and Akufo were operating the home as a secret terror cell to seek to burn the Middle East and the Palestinian regions. You understand? Burn Israel down, burn the Christian world, burn the Islamic. This evil was being done by Joe Biden and he killed an innocent Jewish child. After they have killed, their evil have led to the killing of the Haitian president in worship of this undercover agent. These are known to the White House, the American people. So guess what? Before I came into this new environment, they have already infiltrated the neighborhood. It takes me, God has given me the grace, it takes me seconds. That is for the Spirit of God to make me aware of my environment, to know the Judases that are betraying me, whether I'm the same home or in the neighborhood. Seconds for me to detect, for me to know my environment. So before I came, I was aware that a neighborhood had been infiltrated. Joe Biden shut down the secret terror cell in Montgomery Village, Montgomery Village, where I was living, quickly. And on the 27th of April, I relocated here, and they are seeking to cover up the operating of that terror cell, because I've exposed that terror cell to the American people at the White House. Quickly, in order for them to prevent us from exposing them more, using the Trump sexual battered nonsense, using this indictment garbage, all is not working for them. So, guess what? It's part of their infiltration of the neighborhood. On the 9th of May, they contracted the killer of the Jew, Oscar Ibudu, to come lie with their terror network members in the neighborhood. For me, why? Because Joe Biden and his administration, they want to make a fool of the American people. You understand? That they brought the the killer of the Jew to come communicate with me, and we had a nice talk, and there is so what I was their killing of the Jew did not happen. You understand? They were going to use an African shop where I go to buy calling cards, boss revolution to call Ghana. And God, by His grace, the gallows that they made Oscar Ibudu, the killer of the Jews, innocent Jew, God captured Oscar Ibudu in their setup plot against. They have infiltrated the neighborhood, Ghana, America, and this. Joe Biden and his administration, Ban Ki-moon and his administration, Ban Ki-moon of the races of South Korea, and these coward secret killers. Their agenda is to find means to physically attack me, to silence me. The killing of my family members has not been able to suppress me. The killing of my reverend minister, the killing of the Ghanaian people in this country has not been able to silence me. So they are one more time, as they know to do. They have done against me for years, and I'm not moved. They are planning physical attack against me, and they were using the killer of the Jews among their terrorists to do this, to hunt me down, to track me down in a shop where I went to buy the calling card, and God captured that killer of the Jew. He's called Oscar Ibudu. You will see him in the exposé part 229. In the when I was captured, he was sent there to come and talk to me. I ignored him completely and took my phone and started. I was speaking prudently in the Ghanaian language while I was capturing him. Understand? Okay. So we will see the expose. So U.S. Justice Department, the U.S. House of Congress, U.S. House of Senate, International Criminal Court, all of us, Christian, Muslim, Jews, Oscar Ibudu is not a ghost. The killer of the Jews. Nana Addo Akufo is not a ghost. Let's watch expose part 229 and let's see the face of Oscar. We'll see him, Oscar, we'll see him with in a white shirt. He came with another terror counterpart of his. That terror counterpart is not the issue. We want to give a proof that that individual that was set up by the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo in a relationship with the innocent Jewish woman. It's not a spirit. It's not a ghost. He is a human being that exists in America. Of the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo, the crime covering network of Joe Biden and his administration. They hated me so much that they killed my family members, killed my reverend minister, killed my people, and they took the hatred to go kill an innocent Jew, hoping to burn the Christian world, the Judaist world, and the Islamic world apart while they were committing medical terrorism against the human, and I've logged us all down. Let's watch the face of Oscar Ibudu. That God made Haman hang himself on his own gallows as sure as Yahweh lives. Joe Biden and his administration better give justice in the 17 years of evil against my nation Ghana, 17 years of heinous crimes against Ghana and humanity. They better give justice, or Yahweh, my God, Christ Jesus my Lord, shall bring me justice before their eyes, and according to the scriptures, he shall do it for those that no fear no God to fear him. Humanity and the nations of the world. No amount of intimidation will silence us. Last week Saturday, when we were at the White House, the Biden administration plotted with their agent to seek to attack me physically at the White House while I was exposing, giving my expose at the White House, to try to attack me amidst people. Total hatred and shameless hate crimes. God made us stand as peaceful and unweaponed and fallen as we have always been. We will not let them use 17 years to commit terrorism against Ghana, coward secret terrorism. We will not let them silence us. When I go to the White House, any rule, America, let's hear this. Until total justice is served, let Joe Biden and his administration make any law concerning me to repress. I will not bow, I will not submit, I will not yield, I will flout it. They can choose to assassinate me, murder me, kill me. They have killed my family members, killed my reverend, killed my people. I am not afraid of death. They should hear it and hear it well. This issue, God ended at the killing of the Jew in 2022. But Joe Biden doesn't know. God has already ended it. The rest is for him to avenge himself on the killer of my people, the undercover agent, and her mother, if justice shall not be served. Humanity, let's go to expose part 221 and see the face of Oscar Ibudu. Part 229 shall be what to do. We have started our exposes here in this new residence. More is to come. More is to come from this very place. We are not moved by the surveillance under which we are. God is in total control. God bless you. Let them do all their diversionary tactics. We don't care. Let them seek to imprison their political opponents in America and around the globe. In Ghana, we are not moved. God will still demand accountability from them. God bless you. And God bless our homeland, Ghana. God is watching them closely. Bye-bye. No justice, no peace.